What is this one?
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir.
Ooh, that's a big one. So we paid $500 million to World Health.
Dearest family, greetings to you. Welcome to the Prolific World. Welcome to another beautiful and exciting episode of my video. I bring to you once again the man of God, Reverend Dr. Oyakhylome, DSC. Just of recent, the President Trump just withdrew the United States from the WHO, and I'm so excited to bring this video to you today because this is what the man of God, Pastor Chris, has been saying, and I want you to listen to some of the things the man of God have been talking about, some of the agendas the man of God has been exposing concerning the WHO, and then I'll be right back. Watch this.
The first Director General of the WHO, which is called the World Health Organization. You'd think it was established for health. Well, we all thought so when we were ignorant, until we started learning some more and discovered that what their publicly stated goals are very different from their agenda. You just heard it. That he stated that the priority of the World Health Organization, the WHO, is population control. You just heard it. This man is called Dr. George Brooke Chisholm. That's his name, the first Director General of the WHO. He began working on the idea for the establishment of the WHO from 1945. In 1948, he became the first Director General. A year before then, he stated that the weaponization of biology was important for nations. I'm not quoting him there. It's the substance of what he said. Because he praised the idea of nations weaponizing bacterial, how did they call it? Bacteriology. Can you imagine that? And that is the study and use of bacteria as weapons of war. So you're dealing this is before he became the Director General. Yes. Never stopped the idea, and was more of an atheist because he condemned religion in its totality at his old age. So you ask yourself, if that kind of a guy was the one who became the first Director General of the WHO and worked on its establishment from the beginning. So, what is the WHO? What is it? What might it be? The World Economic Forum, that's led by Klaus Schwab. An organization that believes and promotes absolute idolatry. They deny Jesus Christ as the Son of God. In fact, they don't even hide it. Their main and chief advisor, no Hariri or Harari or something like that, that's his name. He denies the existence of God. He says there's no God. You cannot be friends with such an organization. And if you're a politician or a leader of any country, you should not attend conferences organized by the World Economic Forum. You should not be a part of them. And if your company has been involved with them, dissociate yourself from them. If you own the organization, cut off from them and stop sending them money. They collect money from many companies around the world. That's the way they fund the World Economic Forum. An organization that denies the existence of God and denies that Jesus Christ is God's Son. Openly. How can you be a friend of such an organization? Let me read you what the Bible says. If you go to James chapter 4, where we were reading, he calls those who are children of God that like to make friends with the world, he calls them adulterers and adulteresses. Look at it. In verse 4, he says, know ye not that friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. The world that denies Jesus Christ, the world that denies the existence of God, you cannot be a friend of such a world. And I've just told you, the World Economic Forum openly does. And they came into an agreement with the United Nations. And I'm really specific when I say the United Nations organization under Guterres, Antonio Guterres. Which means they practically moved the UN into a heathenistic organization that is completely antagonistic to God, to the things of God, to the doctrines of truth that we hold dear. How can we tolerate such an organization? So that's why I call for the resignation of Guterres. Antonio Guterres is again. He should resign. Because he moved the United Nations in a completely different direction. Openly.
JOS family, there you have it with the man of God, Reverend Dr. Chris Oyakhylome, and I want you to listen to the President Trump, his speech when he was withdrawing the United States from the WHO. And then once again, for those of you that are coming early into my channel, kindly click on the subscription button, turn on the notification bell to get more amazing and inspiring videos from me. I'm looking forward to seeing my next video. God bless you. Watch this.
Withdrawing from the World Health Organization, sir?
Ooh, that's a big one. So we paid $500 million to World Health when I was here, and I terminated it. China, with 1.4 billion people, we have 350 to pay. We have, nobody knows what we have because so many people came in illegally, but let's say we have 325. They had 1.4 billion. They were paying 39 million, we were paying 500 million. It seemed a little unfair to me. So that wasn't the reason, but I dropped out. They offered me to come back for 39 million. In theory, it should be less than that, but you know. And when Biden came back, they came back for 500 million. He knew that you could have come back for 39 million. They wanted us back so badly, so we'll see what happens.
Mr. President,
Pretty sad to think of it. China pays 39 million and we pay 500 million. And China's a bigger country.
Mr. President, you spoke about inflation today in your remarks. What actions are you taking today that will have a direct impact for Americans on their everyday costs to bring the cost down?
The biggest thing and factor for inflation is energy. They screwed up my energy policy, and then they went back to it. You know, they heard it really badly, and then they went back to it, and they started drilling more, but by that time it was too late. Many of these things that we're signing and that Doug Burgum is going to be signing, and Chris Wright, who's phenomenal at, you know, Energy, Department of Energy, we're going to be taking a lot, we're going to make a lot of money from energy. We have more than anybody else. We're going to make a lot of money from energy. We're going to make a lot of money from tariffs. You know, European Union charges us, they have a VAT tax of 20%, but it's really much higher than that. And that's the equivalent, almost the equivalent of a tariff. And they're tough. They're very tough. They don't take our cars. They don't take our farm product. They don't take almost anything. And yet we take their cars, or we take their farm product. We take a lot from them. So, you know, we have like a $300 billion deficit with the European Union. So we'll straighten that out with either tariffs, or they have to buy our oil. The one thing they can do, oil and gas, the one thing they can do to catch up quickly, buy our oil and gas.
Will you travel?
And they should do that.
Will you travel to China this year?
Yeah, it could be. I've had the invite.
Mr.
President Xi
President,
invited
I would
you
do,
to
yeah.
come this year?
talking about the European Union and the tariffs, like, what do you mean when you say that European Union country like is part of BRICS?
That a what?
BRICS. You said
Oh, BRICS. No, I was talking about BRICS. BRICS is 6 nations. I think it's 7 nations. And they were looking to do a number in the United States. And if they do that, they won't be happy about what's going to happen to them.
Are you still considering a universal tariff, Mr. President, on all countries?
I may, yeah.